Beware. Beware. This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. Good Wednesday morning to everybody. I'm going to get my community service information out of the way because yesterday I couldn't do it because I went crazy. I'm off my medication, but I'm still half normal. Now, the bottom half is normal. The top half isn't. Starting off, I want to say a belated wedding anniversary. I believe it's their 42nd year anniversary to Jerry and Nancy. They're good friends of ours. Jerry and Nancy, happy 42nd wedding anniversary. That was on August the 17th, Monday. But like everything else, I'm late. So Jerry and Nancy, thank you very much. And speaking of Jerry and Nancy, Jerry goes out to Bedrock Raceway. It's outside of Belleville, Illinois. And it says the first rule of the Bedrock Raceway is to have fun. It's a dirt go-kart racing, and it's every Saturday night. And I didn't know anything about it. The gates open at 4, the laps start at 6, and the races start at 7. It's located 1 mile south of Highway 15 on Route 159. It says you turn right on Park Road, go 1.5 miles down. It's free admission. Everybody that's been out there says, what a great time. It says bring the whole family, good, clean fun for everyone, concession stand on site. Anybody interested in getting involved in this go-kart racing, you can contact 698-3379. That's 698-3379 for information. And it says, come out and watch racing for all ages. They have different classes. So it says, hope to see you there. So again, anybody that's interested in doing some go-kart racing on an organized basis, you can call 698-3379. I want to wish Betty Cathers a very happy birthday today. Her husband Ray phoned in and said, hey, can you wish my lovely bride a happy birthday? So Betty Cathers, happy birthday. I'm sure that you're still young enough to do whatever the hell you want to do. Pancake breakfast fundraiser this Saturday, August the 22nd, at one of our favorite places, Mid-America Horse Rescue. It's going to be held at the Grange Hall on Route 163 in Millstadt, Illinois, from 8 to 11 a.m., $10 per person, all you can eat breakfast, and hopefully you guys can make it out there because they're a great group of people. They rescue these horses. They've got a great facility on the other side of Millstadt, between Millstadt and Centerville. So if you guys can make it out there, please do. If you have need any information, have any questions or concerns, you can call Heather. It's 618-530-9747. The first ever car classic. Cars, it says, at the Great Confluence, the Lewis and Clark Confluence Tire in Hartford, Illinois. That'll be next Saturday, August the 29th, from 4 to 7 p.m. The American Legion, our good friends, American Legion Belleville Post, 1937, their meat shoot, Saturday, August the 30th at noon. It'll take place at TR's Place, 4901 Concordia Church Road. For more information, you can contact their commander, Jim Farbus, 409-1212. The Hartford, Illinois Fire Department, August the 29th. Black Light Bash, Saturday, August the 29th. $25 entry fee. They're going to have a silent auction, basket raffles. Doors open at 6 p.m. Bingo starts at 7. If you need any information, you can contact Krista Owens. It's 618-401-1832. Holy Family Festival this Friday and Saturday in the great little village of Cahokia, Illinois. They've got bands, they've got cake booths, carnival rides. Holy Family Festival this Friday and Saturday in Cahokia, Illinois. I think that's probably all we got today. Don't forget, you can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and/or the Grim Reaper of Radio. You can go to our streaming site at insanebroadcasting.com. One word, common spelling. You can like us on Facebook, KQQZ, 1190 AM, and also our sister station for the best, I mean the best, in the golden oldies, KZQZ, 1430 AM. You can hear my repeat performance every day at 4 o'clock p.m. And as always, I'm broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard shift every Monday through Friday at the stroke of midnight. On this date, August the 19th, 1856, Gail Borden was awarded a patent for his processing of making evaporated milk. On this date, August the 19th, 1888, the first beauty contest was held in Spa, Belgium. The winner was an 18-year-old girl from the West Indies. On this date, August the 19th, 1909, a dirt track in Indianapolis was opened for the testing of automobiles. The track later became the Indianapolis Speedway, site of the Indianapolis 500. On this date, August the 19th, 1977, Groucho Marx died at the age of 86. That's what happened on this date, August the 19th, throughout all these years in our world's history. I got a buddy of mine, Jim Hersey, sitting across from me. He's an ex-alderman out of O'Fallon. He moved to, got married, and him and his lovely bride now live in Swansea, so I want to welcome him to the show. I told you that I had some very, very, very explosive news. And when I tell you people that, believe it, because I do. You've heard this first right here. I'm going to break this story, and it's an unbelievable story. I'm going to break this story. You know, down in East St. Louis, Amika, you stinker Jackson Hicks, you stupid bitch. And I said, bitch, 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 and liar, liar, liar. And I don't give a damn if anybody don't like it, because I don't care. And I'll tell you, you people, when you find out what she's perpetrating, you'll use a lot worse terms than bitch. This lady gets up and tells people that they're $5.7 million in debt. She tells people that she revealed waste, abuse, theft, and neglect in the city resources. And she's been, for the last 6 years, been on the city council. For the last 6 years, been the chairman of the finance committee. And she wants to throw everybody else under the bus. And then she goes around to these town hall meetings, and she's so disingenuous. She says, it's not going to be business as usual. We're going to be different. She tells me, sits across from me, takes my money, $35,000, and all I wanted was to help the people of East St. Louis. That was my personal money. I said, just get that corruption out of East St. Louis, Amika. I promise you, Bob, it ain't going to be like it was. It's not. It's not like it was. It's even worse, people. Here's what she's done. After trying to throw her own people under the bus, and she's been part of the administration the last 6 years that projected a $5.7 million deficit in 2016 because of her actions also for the last 6 years. Now, you will not believe this, and it's going to happen unless I've exposed them today and I scare them off. And I kind of hope I do, because the proud people of East St. Louis, they don't deserve what's going to happen. After the big election, everybody fought for Amika. Eric Evans, what a great attorney, got Parks knocked off the ballot at the Supreme Court, which was difficult to do. I helped out. Carl Officer, so many people because we believed in Amika Ustinka Jackson Hicks, the mayor of East St. Louis. We believed she was going to do what was right to help the proud black community that needs the help. And you think you'd get her from a proud black lady, but Amika Ustinka Jackson Hicks is nothing more than a plantation Negro. And I just about have to apologize to the plantation Negroes, but I don't like them. I like the proud black people. The proud black people don't like the plantation Negroes either. But here's what's happening at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Hear me, people, and you won't believe it. You'll hear me, you'll listen to me, but you'll say, this Romanik must really be off his medication. Thursday night, tomorrow night, in the East St. Louis City Council chambers at 301 River Park Drive in East St. Louis. Alvin, you hear me? Not Alvin the Chipmunk. I like him. But Alvin Sugar Britches Parks, the ex-mayor, the mayor that Amika Jackson fought against, the mayor that Amika Jackson talked so bad about, that she wanted to get in and change the course of East St. Louis. And everybody fell for that crap. I fell for it. The proud blacks in East St. Louis fell for it. We together put her in office with all of our resources. Put Amika Ustinka Jackson Hicks in office because we believed in her. Parks is no good, she was telling people. Parks is going the wrong direction. Parks shouldn't be the mayor. I should be the mayor. I want to lead this town. And everybody believed her old okey fadoke. But now listen to me, people. On Thursday night, tomorrow night at 6 o'clock p.m., and you heard it right here on KQQZ 1190 AM. We've broke another hard-hitting political story. At 6 o'clock tomorrow night, Alvin Sugar Britches Parks. Now, you won't believe this. Sit down. Alvin Sugar Britches Parks will be appointed as the people, and you didn't misunderstand what I'm about to say. Alvin Parks will be appointed as the city manager for the city of East St. Louis. Again, unless I've exposed these bastards and I've scared them off, that's what's going to happen. There's already been notice of a special board meeting at 6 o'clock p.m. And people of East St. Louis, you all need to go down to the city hall and express your I would say, political hatred for Amika Jackson Hicks. Now, she's going to cry tomorrow night. She's going to cry. I didn't want this done. I didn't want this done. And I'm going to say to her, Amika Jackson Hicks, you say you didn't want it done. You know what I say, Amika Jackson Hicks? That's exactly what I say. They're going to give you the old okey fadoke. She's going to say, I didn't want it done, but they forced it. No, she brought her friend in, this little lady in. This lady moved from out of state. Now she's going to be screwed. Alvin Parks. And I hope I can scare him off, but I don't think I can. I think it's etched in stone, and I'll explain it why it's etched in stone for all the political inbreeding. This gal's been here a week or two or three or four, packed up and came to East St. Louis from out of state. Amika's friend. That shows you how loyal Amika Ustinka Jackson Hicks is to her friends, her family, and her community. They're going to appoint Alvin Parks, city manager. The city manager has more power, more influence than the mayor ever would have. She cried and bitched and moaned and groaned. We got to get rid of Parks. I got to be the mayor. Oh, man, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one pissed off here. But let me tell you, people, Alvin Parks is your city manager. And all you good people, even the people that were for Parks, you guys are getting okey-fadoked. There's so much political inbreeding in East St. Louis, it's never going to get better. But you see who's benefited? Proud black community? Not you. Amika Jackson Hicks got her 2 jobs now. Eddie the Gerbil Jackson, her papa, he's not going to have any opposition in the primary for state representative. Claiborne, who Amika Jackson says, we've spent too much money. Well, bitch, you're the one that approved Claiborne's $1 million in legal fees the last few years because you're the finance chairman. Never once did you rear your ugly, stinky, kinky head and say you were against Claiborne. You were against him when you ran because Claiborne was over there sitting on Alvin Parks' political lap until, of course, the great attorney Eric Evans got Parks thrown off the ballot because Parks was too ignorant, didn't know how many signatures he had to have, but he's going to run the city. And you say how bad he was, Amika, you stinker Jackson Hicks, and now he's that bad that you're going to put him in charge. He's going to be running the city of East St. Louis because you're going to have your black stinky ass sitting at the Capital Development Office making $90,000 a year of our hard-working taxpayers' money, working for the state, the job that your papa got you. Papa's got a brand new bag. What a bitch she is. Now, people say what you want. Shouldn't call her a bitch. She shouldn't have done what she's done. Call me a bitch all day long, but don't take money from my family. Don't hurt my family. Don't hurt my sons and daughters' educational process. Don't hurt my property tax values. Don't do that and call me anything you want. Amika, you stinker Jackson Hicks. We've exposed you. Now, she's going to cry again. But here's the situation. Now, you're going to have to follow me with all this inbreeding. And people, somebody got to take on this. Give me a call. We are America's voice of freedom. We're definitely the patriot. Call toll free, 1-888-394-1430. On the east side, 394-1190. You good people in East St. Louis, you ought to be up in arms. Everybody fought for this bitch. Everybody fought hard. Everybody give time, effort, money, resources. And she's going to turn around after 2 or 3 months and put the person in charge that she talked so bad about before the election, the person in charge that just recently, listen to me, people, I'll quote it from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Hicks said her administration inherited an unbalanced budget with the deficit projected right at $6 million for 2016. She said documents left by the previous administration revealed waste, abuse, theft, and neglect. If they're an elected official and if they're sworn to do their job, all of the above are criminal charges. All of the above are criminal. And she's saying past administration that she was a major part of? Does she think we're all stupid? Hey, Amika, you stinker Jackson Hicks. Do you actually think we're all that stupid? And now you're going to bring Alvin Parks back. Not as the mayor, but as a city manager. The city manager who will now have more authority, more influence, more take in the way the direction of East St. Louis is going to go. And you're going to be sitting on your black, stinky, greasy ass making $90,000 a year and then coming to the city hall in East St. Louis after 5 o'clock, sitting there for an hour and making 50, 60 grand. But I'm going to tell you people after the break, I'm going to give you the real underbelly of what's going on. And I got to say, Ray Coleman, are you responsible for all this confusion down in East St. Louis? Ray, give me a call. Ray's a consultant in Washington Park. Not a bad guy, but I tell you what, Ray, I hope you don't screw up Washington Park like you did East St. Louis. If you're the one that, and I've heard from people that you said you single-handedly got Amika elected, and if you did, then I'm going to put part of the blame on you. How the hell, Ray Coleman, could you have not seen what was going on? Ray Coleman, I'm going to put part of this blame on you. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and when we do, we're going to explain what's going on in East St. Louis. But people of East St. Louis, people of St. Clair County, You see what's going on? These political inbred bastards, this is what they do. This is what they continue to do. You think it's going to help one person in East St. Louis now that Eddie the Gerbil Jackson and Amika Ustinka Jackson have orchestrated this with Charlie Powell, with Alvin Parks, with Alonzo Greenwood? They're all back in the same political bed. The bug-ridden political bed. These no-good son of a bitches aren't good for East St. Louis. Actually, I got to say, I don't think they're good for humanity. When we come back, we'll explain what the hell is really going on. Feel free. Give us a call, toll-free, 1-888-394-1430. On the east side, 394-1190. I want to know what some of the good people of East St. Louis think about this this act that's going to totally devastate an already fledgling city, a city that needed a helping hand, but instead got a backhand from the East St. Louis Democratic Club. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, your guardian of the First Amendment, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot.
From KQQZ 1190 AM, St. Louis, Missouri, USA, you're listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, and proud to be your First Amendment and all-American station, Radical Radio at its finest. And we're proud to be the Patriot. Now, you people, you're going to have to follow me a little bit, and I'm going to try to explain, and it's going to be hard. See, after the election, they were all pissed at each other. So they had talked about running Alvin Parks against Eddie the Gerbil Jackson in the primary for state representative. So the Jackson clan, they were excited about that. And Eddie, let me tell you about Eddie. Eddie would save his daughter if in a boat that was sinking, if there was 2 life jackets. If there was only 1 life jacket, in my opinion, his daughter's going down, because all Eddie the Gerbil Jackson cares about is Eddie the Gerbil Jackson. So anyway, Parks loses the election. So, hey, I may run it against Eddie the Gerbil. So the Jackson family had to come up with a plan. And I like this gentleman. I talked to Oliver Hamilton. Parks was then thinking about running for East St. Louis Township supervisor against Oliver Hamilton. And I talked with Oliver Hamilton about joining the coalition. I talked with Robert Eastern about joining the coalition. They were all excited, all involved. But now the Greenwood faction in East St. Louis, Greenwood, Parks, Charlie Powell, they found out, because they know we're coming after them strong. So what they did, they go to Oliver Hamilton and say, and then I don't blame Oliver, because he's worried about his position. Oliver, if you come back in the fold, if you won't go with the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, we won't run Parks against you. Okay, good deal. They go to Eddie Jackson and say, Eddie, you and Amika come back in the fold. We won't run Alvin Sugar Britches Parks against you for state representative. Have you followed me up to now? Hopefully you have. It is confusing. So Parks now has no place to go. So they neutered Parks. Now they're going to make him the city manager, making more money than he made as the mayor. being in charge, having more power than he had as the mayor, they're going to make him the city manager. Now Eddie the Gerbil's happy because he has no opposition in the primary for state representative. Oliver Hamilton's happy because now he can still be East St. Louis Township supervisor and not have any organized support against him. That's how they pulled it together. And then Bob Eastern, who had called me several times, ready to join the coalition, but I think him and Oliver Hamilton just used the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition for a bargaining chip because they were ready to come over because Alonzo Greenwood, Alvin Parks, Charlie Powell, the East St. Louis Democratic Club, they were going to try to screw him. But now they tell me that Bob Eastern is going to get a very, very high-paying job at the county. Put that in your pipe and smoke it because it's coming. Bob Eastern, because now he's back with Mosley on the city council, with Greenwood's daughter on the city council. They've pulled him back over so they can have at least 3 votes. And then June Hamilton Dean, I think the vote tomorrow will be, it's got to be at least 3-1, which it will be, but I'm betting on it's going to be 4-0. But do you see how they put this stuff together? And they put this stuff together, people, at my expense, at your expense as taxpayers. They're not going to be paying Parks out of their pocket. They're going to be paying Parks $80,000, $90,000, whatever it's going to be, out of your pockets, people. The proud black community in East St. Louis, the hardworking taxpayers. You guys get screwed. You voted for Amika. Do you understand? Do you understand the hypocritical part of this whole situation? Amika, you stinker Jackson, fought. I'm against Parks. He's corrupt. He's this. There's thievery going on. I'm going in a new direction. You all heard that, bitch. I'm going in a new direction. It's not going to be the same. And she was right. It's even worse. How the hell can she show her face? Well, I know how, because her and her daddy, they're not worried about the city of East St. Louis. They're worried about their political survival. And they're going to survive. They're going to survive at the cost, at the major cost of the hardworking taxpayers of East St. Louis. And you people in East St. Louis, we have a great listening audience. You know what's going on. You have all been okey-fadoked. And Robert Eastern, Oliver Hamilton, you guys ain't called me recently. But you know what I always say? If they're ducking you, they're you. You know what I'm talking about. And that's what's happened down in East St. Louis. And again, people, if it was their business, a big corporation that was owned by Eddie the Gerbil Jackson and Amika Ustinka Jackson Hicks, if it was owned by them, their own personal business, do what you want. Throw your money away. Do whatever you want, whenever you want. But this is a hardworking taxpayers' money. The poor community of East St. Louis, a lot of people can't put proper food on the table for their children. Can't give them proper clothing to go to school. There's not proper education. Now they tell me, School District 189, they're pissed off at Alonzo Greenwood, that sawed-off short son of a bitch, because they haven't had a raise in 3 or 4 years. And even the teachers. I respect the teaching profession. They need a raise. They give all these politicians raises, but they don't want to give the people that educate our children. They don't want to give them a raise, but they'll give the bastards in Belleville, the bastards in East St. Louis, the politicians, the perverted punk politicians, they'll give them raises to sit in their ivory tires, to sit in their air-conditioned offices and do nothing all day but screw the taxpayers of East St. Louis and St. Clair County. Do you understand, people? And I always say how East St. Louis goes is how St. Clair County goes. And did you hear what I say about Robert Easton, the alderman who is now, or the council member, who is now sided with Alonzo Greenwood, the same Alonzo Greenwood that had said he wanted nothing to do with Bob Eastern. And Bob, he's going to use you, chew you up, and spit you out at the end of the day. You're going to be okey-fadoked at the end of the day. But you heard what I said. He's getting a high-paying county position. That means the St. Clair County culture of corruption the vultures from St. Clair County are circling or flying over East St. Louis. They're getting involved because they don't give a damn about the proud black community. They give a damn about the votes. And they're going to need every vote they can get because the people in St. Clair County above the hill, they're all uniting. Democrats, Republicans, independents. They're going to vote the person this time, not the party. There's not going to be a lot of straight Democratic votes, and they know that. So, Mark Sweet Cakes Kern, God Sprague, Chief Judge John Red on the noodle like a pecker on the poodle. And I want to apologize to the peckers on the poodles because they're not even as bad as John Barasivic. John Barasivic and his son, Blowjob Barasivic, running for Congress. And we'll talk about him some other point in time. But you people understand they're using your money to facilitate their wealth. They're using your money to facilitate their wealth. We've got some callers. Let's go ahead. Let's take some callers. Go ahead, caller. You're on the dark side.
Thanks, Bob. Question is, why do they keep getting elected? Now, keep saying the hardworking taxpayers of East St. Louis. Are there really that many hardworking taxpayers in East St. Louis? I think they're just taking the federal money. Think of Jackson, hokey for dope, correct. Why don't? Matter of fact, wasn't Jimmy Connors from East St. Louis?
Yes, he was.
Why don't they open up some tennis courts and making him as an inspiration? These young youths playing tennis. I'm making a point that nothing's going to work unless it's going to be the same old, same old. But the thing is, you keep saying the hardworking taxpayers, you really think there are a whole, I know there's some, but I think there's a whole, that money's just, they're just stealing it from the federal government.
You know, Mark, I appreciate the call. I got to disagree with you. I'll defend the proud black community in East St. Louis because I'm down there every day. I understand what's going on. And no, there are a lot of hardworking, proud black people that pay their taxes. But even more than that, there's a lot of proud blacks who can't get a job. And you know why they can't get a job? Because of culture of corruption in St. Clair County. They want to keep them under their thumb. What an atrocious situation. I guarantee you the vast majority of the proud black community in East St. Louis would love to have a job, would love to pay taxes, would love to have proper food on the table for their children and their family, proper education, proper clothing, given the opportunity. But see, that's the problem. And listen to me, Mark, I'm glad you brought that up. Listen to me, proud black community in East St. Louis. You guys help perpetuate your way of life down there. You got to get up. You got to get up off your asses and say, we're not going to take it anymore. You people do. A lot of you do have aid because you got to feed your families. I was on aid. We had next to nothing. We were desperate. And the proud black people in East St. Louis are desperate because they don't have the jobs. They don't have the opportunity. But they don't have the jobs and the opportunity because the politicians in St. Clair County want to keep them on the plantation so they can control their votes every 2 years, every 4 years. Do you good people in East St. Louis understand that? By being for the St. Clair County culture of corruption, by being for the St. Clair County Democratic Central Committee, by being for the East St. Louis Democratic Club, you're perpetuating that rotten existence you have down there because you're letting them. You're letting all the political people keep you on the plantation. They've made you good people so apathetic down there, you don't know what the hell's going on. All you know is they hand you out some food, they hand you out a few dollars, they give you some subsidized housing, and you proud people take it. And I feel sorry for you. You've been conditioned. You've been conditioned. And a good community, a public servant will not condition his voters, his constituents. He will not condition them. He will inspire them. He will guide them. He will lead them to good jobs. So everyone, black and white, men and women, Democrats, Republicans, can have a decent life. But listen, people of East St. Louis, this situation with the Mika, you stinker Jackson, that just shows you. She's going to benefit from it. She's making more money. Her daddy's going to have his state representative $100,000 do-nothing job. Alvin Parks, the same players. They just recycle the same players, put them in different positions. But it's all family and close friends. The majority of the proud black community, you're right, Mark, probably are on aid, probably are not working. But I will defend them because most of them, now there's some ass-white blacks, just like there's some ass-white whites. But the proud black community, they want the opportunity. The culture of corruption in St. Clair County won't allow that because once a proud black person gets a job, they move out of East St. Louis. They go to Belleville, they go to Swansea, they go to O'Fallon. And then they're not strong Democrats anymore. They finally realize that they were held back just for their vote. And I think 2016, I think the good people of East St. Louis, I think the good people of St. Clair County, again, black, white, men, women, Democrats, Republicans, independents, they're fed up. But Mark, again, I have to disagree with you. There's a lot of great people in East St. Louis. They've been misled for 20, 30, 40 years. Once you get conditioned to do nothing but take from somebody, that's what you're going to do because they do not know better. They're not stupid. They're ignorant. They just don't know the facts, but they're not stupid people. But the politicians have kept them in the dark for 20, 30, 40 years. That's how they control all of St. Clair County. And you people in St. Clair County, take this to the bank. If you don't all come out, register to vote, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, and vote the person, not the party, we're going to have this same culture of corruption for years to come. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio. And we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot.
From KQQZ 1190 AM, St. Louis, Missouri, USA, you're listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio. And we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. Oh, we've got some more callers. Let's go ahead. Let's take another caller. Go ahead, caller. You're on the dark side.
Hey, Bob, this is Kevin the Trash Man.
No, wait a minute. Hey, back up. Are you a proud black man?
Yes, sir.
Then you're not Kevin the Trash Man. You're Kevin the Sanitation Engineer. Don't let anybody beat you down for what you do. Kevin, I salute you because you do what I don't want to do. You do what has to be done, or we would all have diseases because our trash wouldn't be picked up. Kevin, from now on, don't ever call me and say Kevin the Trash Man. You're Kevin the Sanitation Engineer. You understand?
That's right. Hey, Bob, listen to this. A lot of the people in East St. Louis, man, we've been Democrats for a long time. We were brought up into being Democrats. We don't know why. We just was born that way. You know, that's what our parents taught us. But since I've been listening to you, I found out what is all the crap that they've been doing. You know, but they put the racism in there. They play both sides. It's crazy.
It's divide and conquer, Kevin. That's the only way they can beat all the proud blacks and the proud whites is divide and conquer us, and they've been doing that for every year for the last 50 years. And Kevin, let me tell you this: This is not the same Democratic Party that my parents, grandparents, your grandparents knew. This is a total different. This is actually the culture of corruption. These are not true Democrats like they were in the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
That's right. Hey, I'm going to tell you who the real racists are. The Amisha Jackson Hicks. Hey, they look down on the black people.
Right.
But the black people really don't realize that because they're saying, well, it's the white guys in Belleville doing it. But it's not. It's our own people who's doing it.
You know what, Kevin? And I mean this. I want to salute you for you have the guts to say just what you said, and only because it's truthful. If every black person, man, woman, had the integrity that you did, had the work structure that you have, there was a decent person like you. Without the Democratic organization separating us, the blacks and whites could all get together because you have work ethics, you have moral ethics, and you're a decent man. So, Kevin, I want to tell you what, you keep up the fight, and I wish everybody would emulate Kevin, our great friend, our sanitation engineer. And, Kevin, thank you very much, buddy. You've enlightened me, and you've made my day. Thanks for the call.
Thanks a lot, Bob. Take it easy.
You hear what that proud black man said, and he was right. Don't blame everything on the whites. Blame it on who. Hey, if somebody would hurt a family member of mine or kill a family member of mine, and it was a black man, I'm not going down to East St. Louis and killing every black person. I'm not going to blame them for what one person did. And that's what the black leadership does. Oh, it's a white boy's fault. It's white boy's fault. But as soon as they get up to 89th and State, they start stepping and fetching for the white boys. You ought to see them up here in Belleville. They're kissing so much ass. They've all got a case of terminally chapped lips, the black politicians, because they get up to 89th Street. They come up to Belleville. They're kissing the white boys' ass. Then they go down there and play the race card. And that's not fair to not only the white people, the proud white people, but the proud black people. But let me tell you, in East St. Louis, you guys have been screwed, tattooed, and it ain't going to be pretty. Alvin Parks is coming back. I was going to talk about Rick Stone again. Tomorrow, we're going to educate you on the Senator Foghorn. I say Buckwheat Claiborne. I call him John Travolta Claiborne. He looks like John Travolta. You have to go to our Facebook, KQQZ 1190 AM. If you didn't see the cartoon in the News Democrat yesterday, we've got it posted, and we will be posting the editorial. And I personally think what he's done is criminal. I personally think that it's not legal, and we're going to expose this son of a bitch tomorrow. But I wanted to talk. I've got a lot of callers who thank me for my take on the gentleman that was killed in the car wreck, Mr. McPherson, Jared McPherson. And there was some articles in the News Democrat that Stone was really wrong, that Stone should have done this, should have done that. And Stone says in a second article, obviously, we want to take care of the body, Stone said. There was a lot of debris, and this was overlooked. But Stone, the people, the laymen, the people that weren't professionals, they found it. So don't make it. That's the worst thing you can do. Coroner Rick Frankenstone, you saw his picture in the paper. The man, and I had to call and apologize to the Frankenstein Union. Because Rick Frankenstone, he looks so bad, and his health is bad. But Rick, I don't want to pick on you. Get out of the political arena and you won't get hit. You've been a coroner for 30 plus years. You're in ill health. Let somebody come up and do the job they can do. You said when you filed the papers that you said you served, that you were ill and you couldn't make it up to the steps. You had somebody walk up to the steps. And I feel for you, Rick Stone. I sincerely do. But if you're going to stay up in this political arena, you're going to get hit just like anybody else. It's time for you to go. That's part of the culture of corruption, all the inbreeding. Nobody will ever get the opportunity to be a public servant because of all of these politicians. Patty Sprague, it's time for you to go. Roly-poly Patty. It's time for Mike Costello to go. It's time for a lot of these people to go. They've been around forever. And I think the good people of St. Clair County understand that. And I think in 2016, with the help of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, we can put in people who are going to be public servants. You hear me? Not politicians, but public servants. And remember, you have to vote the person, not the party. Those party lines are hurting all of us. But Rick Stone, what an egregious, no-count, low-life son of a bitch you are. You're going to try to make yourself look good? They took the hands and skull, parts of it, and tried to bury it. And then one of Stone's supporters, I think it's illegal. I don't believe that happened. You can't bury things like that. You know, and this is Jeannie Gibson. Hey, Jeannie, hey, you skank. Get those goats and sheeps out of your backyard. Maybe you won't act so stupid. But she actually said, I don't believe a word of the story. There's no way a coroner would leave readily visible body parts laying around. No, it did. It happened. Jeannie Gibson. And really, you can't, if you bury body parts, it constitutes a crime. Now, you stupid bitch, Jeannie Gibson, a supporter of Stone apparently, you're going to charge the family with burying body parts at the coroner's office? Legally and professionally and ethically should have retrieved. Now, you want to charge? No, let's charge Rick Stone with a bunch of crimes that I believe he's done. So, Jeannie Gibson, again, please stay away. Stay away from the sheep. Unbelievable. We'll get on Rick Stone again. We're not going to let any of these son of a bitches go. We're going to beat them up. We're going to beat them up politically. We're going to make you people understand what's going on. And Amika Jackson, what a slap in the face to every proud member of the East St. Louis community. They're going to bring Alvin Sugar Britches Parks back after this bitch. After this disingenuous bitch, Amika Ustinka Jackson Hicks, said there was corruption. She found corruption. She found mismanagement. She found theft in the previous administration. And again, hear me, people, the previous administration that she was a member of for the last 6 years, that she was the chairman of the finance committee, and she's bitching about East St. Louis being right at $6 million in deficit. You can blame her for most of that, but no. She's a big shot. She's going to blame Parks and say what a bad job he did. That's why she wanted to change directions. And now, people, she's going to bring Alvin Sugar Britches Parks back as the city manager. This bitch must be crazier. I mean this. This bitch must be crazier than I am. I wouldn't do anything quite that stupid. And I sure wouldn't do it to hurt my community like Amika Ustinka Jackson Hicks has done. But her and her daddy, they've orchestrated this whole thing, and she'll be crying Thursday night. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. I did want to do it. And you know what I say to you, Amika? You know what I say to you? You rotten, no-count bitch who have sold out the proud black people of East St. Louis one more time. And people, listen to me. You can be mad at what I say, and that's fine. But you ought to be real mad at what they do down in East St. Louis. The political leaders, Amika Jackson Hicks, Eddie the Gerbil Jackson, Alonzo Greenwood, Charlie Powell, Alvin Sugar Britches Parks. Be mad at me for what I say, but that's not hurting your family. That's not taking money out of your family's pockets. That's not making your family and your children not have food on the table. So don't ever judge somebody about what they say, just like Amika. Don't judge her by what she says she was going to do, change the direction. Judge her for what she has done. And if you judge her for what she has done, she'll go down in history as the most egregious, the most ignorant, the most stupid, unprofessional, unethical mayor East St. Louis has ever seen. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio at its finest. And we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot Come on back tomorrow. Same time, same place. We're going to be on the Senator Foghorn. I say Buckwheat, John Travolta, Claiborne. You got to go to our Facebook, KQQZ 1190 AM, and see that cartoon of this ignorant, stupid bastard. We're going to be all over you tomorrow, Claiborne. We're going to be on Stone. We're going to be on Kern. We're going to be on every son of a bitch in St. Clair County that is taking from us hard-working taxpayers, men, women, black, white, Democrats, Republican, independents. We're tired. You bastards have been exposed, and we're going to continue to expose you son of a bitches until we run you out of office in 2016. And as you know, we can only do that. Let's put our petty differences aside. Let's all unite. We have one major common enemy, and it's the St. Clair County culture of corruption. So let's unite. Expose these son of a bitches day in and day out like we've been doing and will continue to do. Expose them. Drag them over whatever the hell we have to drag them over. And at the end of the day, that's when we'll have the party after all the hard work. And the party will be burning these rotten bastards at the political stake. Burning them politically, of course, right here on the dark side.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time. And I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha.
The Patriot.
Your First Amendment and All-American Station. A division of Insane Broadcasting. Renegade Radio.
KQQZ, St. Louis.